Aspiring Teen Chef, and today we're doing our first of our side dishes appetizers. We're going to make deviled eggs today. So we have the recipe on the board over there, but we'll be going through all the techniques here. So we need to hard boil a dozen eggs. So Justin, if I can get you to put 12 eggs in the bottom of that pot. So as I was saying before, this is a part of our curriculum that I've created for people to learn how to cook. Whether you're a teenager or whether you're an adult, it's fine. Nobody's gonna know. As soon as I'm finished the curriculum, I'm almost done. I will be getting it out somehow, either by ebook or by publishing and mailing out paper copies. We'll see what happens with that. I'm not 100% sure on all that, so anybody who can help me with that, if you want to leave a comment in the comment section, I would really appreciate it. So now what Justin's going to do is he's going to get a jug of cold water, and he's going to fill up the eggs to just about an inch above. No. Okay, so here we are. Justin's got his jug full of water, and we're going to fill up the eggs until it's about an inch above the eggs. We don't want too much water because then they bounce too much in our water. Oh, that looks good. Okay, another little trick to keep your eggs from cracking when you're boiling them is to put in about a tablespoon of white vinegar into your water. And I don't know why this helps, but it does. Go ahead, Justin, add 1 tablespoon in there. It doesn't have to be exact. It's not an exact measurement. We're just making sure that we have a little bit of vinegar in there. Okay, so now we're going to put our eggs on the stove. We're going to wait for it to come to a boil, and when it does, we're going to remove it from the heat. And then we're going to let it set for 12 minutes. And during that time, we're also going to get together a bowl of ice cold water. So we're going to get some water, get some ice in there. We want the water as cold as possible. Cool our eggs down really fast. Okay, so we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so our eggs are just about to a boil here. We're going to let them come to a right full rolling boil. And then Justin is going to turn off the burner, put a lid on the pot, and take the pot off of the heat. So we're going to put that pot on our trivet on the counter beside the stove. And when that comes off, we're going to because we want hard boiled eggs, we're going to let that sit in the pot for 12 minutes.
Go.
Okay, so our eggs are at a full boil. We're going to take those off of the stove now and put it on our trivet and put the lid on and set your timer. So push timer and then up to 12 minutes. And we're going to leave that sit for 12 minutes so that the eggs can finish cooking. When they're done, we're going to immerse them into an ice cold bath, which we'll show you in a minute. So our timer is just about to go. We've got about 15 seconds left, and we're actually going to leave it for the full 12 minutes because we want to make sure that our eggs are truly hard boiled. When the timer goes, Justin's going to pull the lid off, and he's going to very gently, using the tongs, put the eggs into the ice water. As you can see, we have that prepared too. So go ahead, Justin, take off the lid. Start pulling out your eggs and putting it into, just very gently put the eggs into the ice water. Good. Excellent. Yeah, you don't want to be too rough with them because you still don't really want them to crack. Then you kind of get a little bit of a mushy egg happening there. Okay, so when our eggs have cooled down, they have to sit for another 15 minutes in the ice water. We'll come back and we'll show you how to peel and then how to prepare our filling. So we'll be right back. We have peeled our eggs, and as you can see, they look a little mangled. This is because my eggs are really super fresh. A lot of them were actually just collected yesterday. I've been trying to find on the internet different tricks for peeling super fresh eggs so that you don't end up mangling the outside, and Doesn't sound like a lot of things actually work. I did try the vinegar trick, didn't work. So either age your eggs or you'll just have to put up with these kinds of results. So we're going to get on with the whole making the filling. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut our eggs in half lengthways. Just slice right through. Good. And then we're going to pop the yolks into our bowl. So Justin, why don't you carry that on?
Okay.
Put all the yolks in the bowl. We're even going to use this guy even though he lost his head. And when we come back, we will show you how to mix up the filling. Okay? You're in a big hurry to get going here. Okay, so we have, or Justin has, pardon me, cut our eggs, made our little egg cups out of the whites, and we're going to mix our filling. I'm sorry that our eggs look a little messy on the outside. Good thing is that we actually cook them perfectly. There's no black ring around the yolks, or dark brown, I guess it is. So we know that, and the centers are not runny. So Justin, why is a bear big, brown, and hairy?
I don't know.
Because if he was small, smooth, and white, he'd be an egg. Sorry, I love that joke. Okay, so to mix our filling, we're going to add our mayo into here. So why don't you grab yourself a table knife and we'll scrape that into here. I don't have any table knives. Wow, dishwasher didn't get run. So we'll just use this knife. That'll do. So go ahead and scrape that in there. And I'm going to measure out just a quarter teaspoon of salt. Don't need much. Go ahead, put that in there, hon. And you can just squeeze past you here. I got a little bit of onion powder. Now, our recipe calls for onion. I really don't like fresh onions, so if you do, so I decided that you might not want to see me gag when I was filming this. But I will. I do like onion powder. I like the flavor of onions. I just can't eat them raw. Okay. So we got our salt. We got our mayo. Do the best you can. Yes, you keep seeing me want to go like this and take over, but no, I won't take over. I'll let Justin do it. Would you like a little scraper?
Yes.
Would that work?
Yeah. Yes.
See what we got for little ones. We don't really have a whole lot of little ones. This one might work. Excuse me. Okay, let's see if we can do it. See, and I did take over anyways. Poor Justin. He has a takeover mother. Okay. So, we're also going to do pepper. So give that a couple of grinds. Get some pepper in there. We don't want, no, maybe a bit more. That's not quite enough. We don't, no, keep going. I'll tell you when to stop. Don't want a terrible amount. That should be good. And now we're going to take our fork and we're just going to mix this up and mash the egg yolks. So we're just going to squish them, break them all up, mix the mayonnaise in there. If this isn't quite enough mayonnaise, it's okay. We can always add a little bit more. That's part of cooking. Baking tends to be more exact, more of an exact science, pardon me. You have to get the right ingredients in the right proportions in order for your product to turn out. But when you're just cooking, it's all a matter of taste. Why don't you go ahead and smash that a little bit more. I'm going to grab a wee bit more mayonnaise because I think we need more. Now, I say mayonnaise, but I actually prefer Miracle Whip. It's just a personal taste. Some of you, I know, some people in my family don't like Miracle Whip at all. But I actually prefer it to mayonnaise. To me, it has a little bit more zip to it. So, just keep, yeah, it's okay. Just keep mixing. The more you mix, the less it'll stick. We want to get it as smooth as possible. Yeah, good. Scrape it off the sides there because you're not going to do anything with it on the side. Yeah, I think that should be good. Let's have a look. Mind if I just...
Yummy.
Does it taste good? Okay, so now what we need is we need a spoon. And the spoon is going to help us fill our eggs. And you know, believe it or not, I actually prefer using a grapefruit spoon because it just makes a nice cleaner edge. And because my husband can't eat grapefruits anymore because he's allergic. So, gotta have some use for these little puppies. So, and you just put a little bit of filling in there, just slightly heaping. And while Justin fills these, I'm actually gonna go and get my deviled egg holder. So go ahead. Yeah, that one kind of fell apart. We don't have to fill. So this is my egg holder. I actually made it myself when I was really into ceramics. And it's actually built to hold deviled eggs. So we're gonna take a pause here while we finish filling the eggs because I'm sure you're already bored. And we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, so we're back with our tasters because they couldn't wait. And so I have found 2 ways to garnish deviled eggs. I don't think that the second way is actually deviled eggs, but there are some people who are allergic to paprika. So some people choose to use parsley. Now this is just dried parsley that my mom gave me a while ago. So Justin's going to sprinkle half the eggs with parsley and I'm going to sprinkle the other half with paprika. I prefer paprika. I think it looks really nice. Go ahead, Justin. Put that on there. So I kind of like lots of paprika. You don't have to put lots. Spread it around so... Yeah, kind of...
Very good.
Hold it up. And you know what? Then you can kind of like be all like a French chef. We're French here, so... Or I am anyways.
Some of this.
Woo. No, just kidding. So now, one of our egg. Okay, now it's time for you guys to taste. Since our cameraman already had a taste, help yourselves. Take whichever kind you like. Taste it. I like the paprika ones. Go ahead, Joe.
I don't know which one to take.
Whichever kind you like. Whichever kind. Paprika is a little tiny bit hot, but not super hot.
Oh yeah, make sure you don't put, make sure instead of paprika, do not put cayenne pepper on it.
Yes, they do look the same in the cupboard. So you might not want to put hot chili pepper, or yeah, cayenne powder, sorry guys.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think?
They're
Do you guys like them?
Yeah.
Okay, so worth the effort. Good snack for everybody. So why don't we just polish them off? And we will see you guys in 2 weeks. And I believe we're doing in 2 weeks, we're doing oven roast potatoes. So we'll be celebrating the potato. You guys have a good week. Like and subscribe. And if anybody has any tips on how to peel a super fresh egg without it getting mangled, please leave it in the comments below and I will test it. And if it works, great. I will definitely recommend it. Pardon me, excuse me. Still getting over my cold a little bit there. And, oh, one tip I wanted to tell you, how to tell if your egg is fresh or if it's too old to eat. So you take your raw egg and you put it in a bowl of cold water. If your egg lays down flat with both ends pointing out, your egg is really fresh. If your egg stands up but still sits at the bottom of your bowl in the water, that means that it's not as fresh, still good to eat though. That's actually what makes the better hard-boiled eggs. They're much easier to peel. And if your egg actually floats to the top and bobs around, throw it away very carefully because that egg is bad and they smell terrible if they crack. So you guys have a good couple of weeks. We'll see you in a little bit. Bye.
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 Bye.